What is going on, everybody? Let's talk about the insanity of the Corpuscarii Electro-Priest coming in at 15 points a model. These guys, I would say they're up for potentially best unit in the book. They are so good, it is insane, and we'll get into it. Definitely, if you don't have some, pick some up. There's some great ways to get them for cheaper than buying a bunch of boxes. I happen to just have the originals, but if you look on the different Facebook groups, you can see people convert these from flagellants, from the Age of Sigmar kits. They convert them from the Zinch Acolytes. You can convert them from the Delot gang or some Necromunda gang. Great ways to convert them for probably a better price than what they cost for 5-man boxes. But let's get into it. Movement 6, that's deceiving. Weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 3, strength 3, toughness 3, 1 wound, 2 attacks, leadership 8, 6 up save. Now, the thing that makes them so good is the versatility of their weapon. They have a 12-inch shooting attack, assault 3, strength 5, AP 1, 1 damage. Anytime a weapon is anytime a hit roll is an unmodified roll of a 6, you hit 2 additional times. So each 6 to hit is 3 hits instead of 1. And when you're in hand-to-hand combat, you get 2 attacks that has the same profile because you get plus 2 strength, so it brings you up to strength 5, AP 1, 1 damage, and the same explosion effect. Wonderful. They have a 5-up invuln save. Fantastic. And they have a 5-up shrug save, or feel no pain. So they're relatively durable for their points. They can still get mowed down by small arm fire, and they're only toughness 3. But, you get lucky on some 5-up feel no pains, 5-up invulns, and you can stick around a little longer than your opponent was expecting. With the Volgeist Blast, when they finish a charge move, if you got models with engagement range, roll dices on a 6, you do a mortal wound. It's like a little impact hit, whatever. It's just a cool little bonus. And this one, which I think I've played these guys about 5 or 6 games now. And I've never even remembered this, which is funny how good they've been for me without even remembering the fact that motive foresight, each time a model in this unit makes a ranged attack, you can ignore any or all hit, roll, and ballistic skill modifiers. So you could take any bonuses if you had them, and you could ignore all the negatives, which I honestly have always forgotten. So you could move 6 and shoot 12, so you have about an 18-inch threat range. You could always run and shoot with no penalty to your ballistic skill shooting. Of course, they can't run and charge, and they are pretty good in hand-to-hand combat. So let's jump over real quick. I've been playing them in Mars, and we'll jump through the Forge Worlds, and then I'll go into exactly why they're just so maybe brokenly good. In the Forge World, they get to reroll one of their hit rolls every time they attack because of Mars. So reroll one of their hits. That's cool. I've been rolling them around with the Tech Priest Dominus, and that Dominus has been rolling out the Red Axe. So he's kind of a little melee beast. He's kind of a secret melee beast, whatever. But he gives them reroll ones to hit. And when you're shooting that volume of shots and 6s are exploding, a lot of times your unit's actually hitting more times than you even have shots. The numbers you're putting out is crazy. They're a really, really good choice for Wrath of Mars. Only 1 CP if you only have about, I think you can have up to 15 of them for 1 CP. And I think once you go to 20, let's double check. Yeah, your power rating 9 at 15. And if you have 16 or more, your power level 12. So if you only have 15, it's still only 1 CP to Wrath of Mars. They're really likely to cap out on some mortal wounds there. It's great. Lucius, they get plus 3 inch range to their weapons, which is nice. They can teleport in, which of course is nice. They can solar flare with the boys. Super nice. Wonderful. Agrippina, each time you make a range at half range, you get an armor penetration increased by 1. So if you're within 6, you get plus 1 AP, so you'd be strength 5, AP 2. You could get the minuses to hit in Styges, or Graia, pass the combat attrition tests. That's fine, whatever. Ryza, buff your melee, makes their melee even crazier. And Metallica, I don't know if they really benefit that much from Metallica. Although they do, enemies do count as below half. So, you know, that's something. There's potentially some build your own Forge Worlds, but what I want to get into is they win keyword bingo. They have core, so, and they get the Canicles. They don't get the Doctrines, but they get really good stratagems. Now this stratagem here is for Electro-Priest only, and I don't know how it made it in the book. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm not sure you ever need to use this, but let's read it. 2 CP. Each time, use a stratagem in the fight phase when an Electro-Priest from your unit is selected to fight. Till the end of the phase, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, an unmodified hit roll of 6 automatically wounds the target. So that is nice, but you're putting out a massive volume of attacks. So, I don't know. Go for it, I guess, if you want. Your 15 man would have 30 attacks. A couple of them are going to automatically wound. But it's 2 CP, and you have a lot of great stratagems in this book. So I think you'll find this one, it doesn't even really cross my mind when I've been playing, but I mean, it's there if you need it. They have 3 different stratagems here. They also have the Electromancer's Wrath. In your shooting phase, select one unit, excluding vehicle, within 12. Roll a dice, 2 through 5, D3 mortal wounds on a 6. 2D3 mortal wounds, never use that. Their shooting is so good already, I've never felt the need to do that. Although it is in your shooting phase, so you could say if you had a single unit left, or a single model or something left alive with like 1 or 2 wounds left, maybe you go for that and pop them with the mortals. That's fine. This one is so powerful and brokenly good, it's insanity. Electro Shocked. Now, this one should be the one that's 2 CP, and that other one that was the 6s to hit automatically wound, that should be the 1 CP. Use this stratagem at the start of the fight phase. Select an enemy unit, excluding vehicle or monster unit within engagement range of Occult Mechanicus core. Until the end of the phase, the enemy unit is not eligible to fight until after all eligible units in your army have done so. So this is giving out for 1 CP, fight last. So if your unit of Electro-Priests gets charged, for 1 CP, you'll fight before the unit that charges you. Now, if they get multiple charged, obviously that's a way around it. But for 1 CP, if any melee unit or anything in the game outside of a monster or vehicle charges you, then you would get to fight before them. And your damage output is very nice. So, wonderful, wonderful stratagem. It's insanity. Nobody can charge you. They just can't come near you unless they're going to multiple charge you, because you fighting first is going to do way too many hits at strength 5 AP 1, and you're going to kill too many models. They're going to suffer too many casualties to deal with that. Now another one that's purely just amazing for these guys, Info Slave Skull, 2 CP. Now this is worth 2 CP. At the end of the reinforcement step of your opponent, if any unit has set up within 12 of your unit, you can shoot. So they're with the volume of shots, and there's no penalty to hit. Anybody deep strikes within 9, say, I mean it's within 12, but even if they're just within, I mean obviously you gotta be within 12 to be in range, but all your models obviously have to be in range to shoot. But only if one of their models is within 12 of your unit, you can shoot, assuming you have the range to do so. Like if you were in Lucius, you'd have actually range 15 on your little guns. Your jazz hands. I call them jazz hands. They're wonderful. So let's recap. They shoot really, really good. They fight really, really good. You can't deep strike near them. You can't charge them and beat them in combat. And also, they're an incredible choice to Overwatch with, because any 6 to hit is 3 hits instead of 1, and they have a massive volume of attacks. So even though you're fishing for 6s, you're going to hit your Overwatch with quite a few strength 5 AP 1 hits. And they're going to be re-rolling 1s to hit. And you're a Tech Priest if you happen to have one of them hanging out. There's potentially more bonuses here. We don't need to worry about it. There's potentially more bonuses here. This one. Cartogrammatist. When you select this Warlord trait, select one friendly Cult Mechanicus core from your army. That unit gains the following ability. orbital teleportarium. During deployment, you can set them up in orbit. So you can give one of the units of priests deep strike, even if you're not in Lucius. So you could do this in Mars. Say you buy somebody this warlord trait. It has to be a tech priest. And you could deep strike a unit, which is wonderful. Deep striking's so fun. Nobody's going to deep strike near you. They can't charge you and beat you up in combat. You're pretty much immune to everything except a massive volume of small arms fire. Now, obviously we got to get through these stupid placement of Crusade rules. I'm not saying Crusade is stupid. I'm actually really excited to try Crusade. I just don't like where it is in the book. It should be either before all this or after all this. It just doesn't make sense where it's placed. So they also benefit a lot from mechanicals. Now, the light cover one, they don't really care. No big deal. But +1 strength. This brings them up to strength 6. This is a buff people unfamiliar with the AdMech might have missed if they played them last edition. In Melee, this used to be strength 5 for their Melee profile. It just had a strength characteristic. So adding 1 to the strength characteristic of the model did nothing for them. But now, in Melee, it gives them +2 to their strength characteristic. So you could bring that to a 5, or they're a 5 with that, 6 with that. Fantastic. If you have big units, combat attrition, you can ignore modifiers, whatever. Probably don't really need that one. Reroll a hit roll and a wound roll, always good. While this canonical is active, you can roll an extra dice when you run or charge and discard the lowest. Great if you want to try to charge into them. Great if you're just trying to use them to run around and shoot and then try to bait out somebody to charge you and then you just overwatch them to death. Or you let them charge you and then you do the 1 CP where they can't fight you and then you beat them to death with your bare hands. And then this one also, -1 to hit them in hand-to-hand combat. So if this one, like, this unit's so insane. You charge them for 1 CP, they fight before you. Unless they have some way to give you fight last, which some armies do. But if you don't have fight last on you, you're going to fight before the guys that charge you. You could beat the crap out of them. And then when they strike you back, they might have -1 to hit you. It's just crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. They can benefit from the galvanic field of the Tech Priest Manipulus, because they are a core. So you could give... Oh, wait, no, maybe not. Maybe not. No. 6-inch to galvanic, arc, and radium weapons, and they have electrostatic weapons. So you can't actually benefit from that guy. But you do benefit from the Tech Priest Dominus with the reroll 1 to hit aura. Fantastic. Just incredible. So there you have it. What do you think the most powerful unit in the game, or sorry, the Codex is? I think these guys are up there. Just the versatility. You can't deep strike near them or they shoot you to death. You can't charge them or they shoot you to death. If you do charge them, they fight before you and they beat you to death. In their turn, they can charge you, shoot you, beat you to death. They can run and shoot with no penalty. They can shoot flyers with no penalty. They can shoot through cover with no penalty. I mean, and they got AP1. This is another buff. They did not have AP1 in 8th edition. So they're incredible. I highly, highly recommend it. Another great way to roll around with those boys is you just put them in your little, what is it called? Dune Rider. They're a good unit to go in the Dune Rider because 12 of them is enough to get some work done. Or even 11 and a Tech Priest if you feel like running that way. And there you have it. I mean, you can take 12 infantry keyword here. So 12 of them in one of these is, 12 guys. That's 36 shots. 6 is the hit, or 3 hits instead of 1. They're slightly protected from first turn shooting. Fantastic. Just an incredible unit. Hopefully you're enjoying the AdMech Masterclass. I'm just going through all these crazy, crazy combos. There's so many of them. This book might be a little too strong, unless you're taking maybe like the robots and stuff. I'm going to do maybe like the biggest losers and the biggest winners video coming up soon, just to show you which units maybe I feel like aren't necessary at all. And not even take whatever you want, and you could take a little bit of the units I'm going to tell you are bad, because they're not that bad. But I just wouldn't invest heavily in what I'm going to talk about with the bad units. But these guys, heck, take 30 of them if you want. I think you're going to enjoy it a lot. So there you have it. Please subscribe if you like the Adeptus Mechanicus. Please comment down below what unit you want to talk about next. Please let me know what combos you've been using. Here's a fun question. I might do a separate video on this, but have you ever lost in 9th edition with this codex when you went first? That'll be the question of the video, and I'll probably make a video about this because I'm not sure this army ever loses if they go first because the damage output is insanity levels, which is not honestly that great for the game experience, but whatever. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Please like the video. Check out the Masterclass playlist. There's all kinds of videos for basically eventually every combo you're going to be interested in. And I think you're going to enjoy them. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the comments.